Hello. How many cryptocurrencies are created up to this now? Do you know? Someone told me there are about 500,000 cryptocurrencies created right now. Among them, we know there are some good ones, bad ones, and ugly ones, right? And someone asked me, why do you need another one? Another mainnet platform? Why do you need that? Right? You will hear that. My answer with my EcoVerse platform is that all these platforms, mainnets, they are not sustainable. Now, question I have to ask you is, how many coins do we have in your pocket, in your wallet? How many different kinds? If you're in the crypto industry, you have many dirt kind of, so cheap coins in your pocket. And they're not going to bring you any money in the future. You have a dozen of them, right? But guess what? It is better than, there are many other people that invested some strange coins like all others. It is surprising there are 500,000 people who invest some coins. But today I want to discuss about this, that self-sustainability. Is your coin that you have, your coin you're developing, are they going to be sustainable? Are they going to be survive 10 years, 20 years, 100 years down the road? I have to say, they're not. They're not. I promise you, they're not. If they're going to be sustainable, they have to be designed to be sustainable. You have to think about this. The first ever built automobile in human history. Do you see this? Quino, a person named Quino. He invented automobile in 1960s. This automobile was not a car, we see, is close to cart. Animal-pulled cart at that time. Right? Obviously, at that time, Quino, all he saw was the cart, animal-pulling cart. So he made this engine, you see. Engine is a boiling pot right in front of the cart, and tried to have this car driving the road. Right? Can you see this steering wheel over there? Steering wheel? Just look like this. Trying to steer it with the steering rod. It is not steering wheel, it is steering rod. Trying to control that car. Terrible, right? It had 5 kilometers per hour, the maximum speed was. It is comparable to the Bitcoin we have, right? The Bitcoin, we have how many transactions do we have maximum? 7 transactions, a whopping 7 transactions per second, right? This one had 5 kilometers per hour. Not only that, this was driving not more than 15 kilometers because the boiling pot was not, vacuumed enough, not sealed enough. That all the waters got evaporated so fast. So every 15 kilometers, after you drove, you have to refill the water. Do you see that? Do you see where the Bitcoin is there? Bitcoin, 3 transactions average per second. Are they usable? Are they usable? You are actually investing into this. You are actually investing into this. When you invest tons of money believing that Bitcoin will be millions of dollars, you're praying into this car and praying this car to be $1 million today. someday, the critical problem of this was that this one did not have brake. You know, you think about it, animal pulled cart did not need to have brake, you see? But this person, Quino, the person invented this car, he did not know if a car needed a brake. So what happened, do you know? The car, in his first driving, saw downhill slope, accidentally destructed. We call it self-destruction, designed to be self-destruction method. Now, what we have to do is that we have to carefully design the automobiles like this and try to improve it, right? That's why you need to have self-sustainable, cryptocurrency or cryptocurrency platform like mine. I dare to say, if you develop cryptocurrencies, you think about self-sustainability. If you don't, you do it today. Because self-sustainability is the first feature that has to have for your platform or for your cryptocurrencies. In fact, self-sustainability or self-destruction, if you go the other way. Self-destruction is studied by a professor. There's a research paper there actually telling that cryptocurrencies, as of today, 500,000 of them, are programmed self-destruction. You think about it. Programmed self-destruction. You see, Quino's car, I dare to say, Quino's car was what? Designed self-destruction. This one, actually, this professor, Dr. Kortoa, actually he's saying cryptocurrencies are programmed self-destruction. And 500,000 of them, they are all, I dare to say that. I dare to make a proposition, they're all to be programmed to be self-destructive. You see that? Do you see that? Do you see that? Now we have to sit down and think how we can make a design. How can we design a system to be sustainable? We made a series of theories and series of researches on top of it, and we made several propositions that we have to do. One thing you have to do is that a cryptocurrency platform, they have to have voluntary participation all the time. And people have to participate in your platform every time, all the time. That's one thing, one element that a platform should be sustainable. Another is incentive compatible. The incentive given by the mechanism has to be bigger than the incentive a participant wanted. You see, that's the theory we came up with. Actually, this is my theory, not my theory, but it is theory from economics. So we have that. Now, having all those sustainability in mind, what you really have to do is that you have to bring daily usability. Daily usability is not because you are competing against the Visa, but actually, to me, daily usability is needed because it is the key to the sustainability. Some people say scalability is the key issue. I actually have to say scalability is only one of the issues of many issues of daily usability. Daily usability meaning that ordinary people should be able to use for daily activities. If not, they're not going to participate. There's voluntarily on your system. it is voluntary participation, related to voluntary participation. You see, that's one thing that you have to have. So daily usability with a universal adoption is one of the keys. Of course, daily usability, there are many issues that you have to solve. Scalability is one of them. TFT is another. And anonymity or anonymity. Do you know that this cryptocurrency has to solve two things at the same time? Anonymity, meaning that you have to protect privacy protection to the people. At the same time, you have to comply with all those KYC and AML at the same time. We want to solve that at the same time, those things. That you see that? Now, also you want to minimize the variability when you want to have people use that for daily use. But sometimes not. But how would you solve that as well? Minimize the variability for people to use, have the people to use for daily activities. You don't want to buy a burger, $1, next day it becomes $2. Today it was $1 for $1. Next day it's one coin for $2. Then you cannot do that. So you have to minimize the variability. That's one of the elements you have to bring to the people. But then again, you don't want to hinder the opportunity to have the price going up, right? The value going up. So that's another one that you want to solve at the same time. Can we do that? That we're solving that kind of problems. So that's one universal daily usability with the universal adoption. Another one we have to, along with it, we solve this daily usability with the universal adoption. We think we can bring, technically, we can bring the best solution possible in the world. But you think about it, cleaner's car, we are better than cleaner's car, we were saying actually. You see, we can bring 2 seconds, less than 2 seconds TFT. But what good is it if it doesn't bring the anonymity and privacy protection on top of it? So having that, another problem that we are challenging for sustainability issue is that wealth distribution. If the rich get richer, then what is going to be happening is that people will not participate in it. Voluntary participation is an absolute requirement. We said that? We are bringing with that. And with that, to solve that problem, what we are trying to bring is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow, 1943, he said to the people are not living for the physiological needs. They need more things: safety, loving and belonging, self-esteem, and self-actualization. He brought them into the arena. So that's what we have. We are bringing to implement. We try to implement Maslow, but we have a better theory than Maslow's. Maslow was the theory done in 1943. So the theory of 2000 is theory of spiral dynamics, value meaning. Also along with the integral theory, we are bringing into our platform to make our platform to be sustainable. And now, along with that, what we are bringing to the people is artificial intelligence supported consensus mechanism. We need that because, when you think about the consensus mechanism is divided in two parts. One is network maintenance, and the other is wealth distribution. What we are trying to do is that network maintenance, we want to have artificial intelligence taking care of the network management with the block generation. Now, when you have that part taken by artificial intelligence, what you have is that you have the wealth distribution and power distribution remaining. Now, for that, what we do is that we want to have power of contribution, proof of contribution. Whatever the contribution you make to the network, it is not, the contribution is not necessarily a network management anymore, but it is a contribution of everything. So whatever the contribution you make to the network, it becomes your asset. We name this consensus mechanism, artificial supported delegate proof of contribution. So that's what we are bringing. Finally, we're challenging the security for the sustainability. You cannot be hacked and attacked every time, right? Every day. And do that, what we have is that we are designing the system with the centered around the decentralized apps, that is. We are designing dApps, we invite centered around the dApps because people begin getting their incentives from the dApps and from the desires. Let me change that. These people consume the desires. People doesn't consume money, but people consume desires. That's what we need what we learn from Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So when you have your honor or your desire built, whatever the way it is built, this platform will be the source of your wallet, source of your honor, source of your life. Then what is going to be happen? People cannot steal their own pocket. That's what we have. It is dApp center because incentive compatibility is given by the dApps. And secondly, we are providing artificial intelligence protects the network. And then finally, community will try to protect the network. That's what Triple Shield is. We go a little more details, and one thing that we do, in-depth explanation of the system, we do have more dApp-centered architecture like this. What we have is that we have two coins. One is providing anonymity, providing anonymity and that volatility minimized, and as well as privacy and all those things in one coin, and the other coin will offer all others in the other direction. So finally, our architecture looks like this, and our schedule to have ICO is in November. I hope you remember that, and this is the distribution of the coins. And finally, I want to point out, the ones we try to solve, we're trying to resolve for sustainability. The ultimate solution for this is have people remind that we are living not for us, not for me, but we are living for we or ourselves, our society, or others. That's Ubuntu economy. Ubuntu means, in African words, Ubuntu means I am because we are. I am because we are. That's the basic philosophical foundation that we have in our network. Thank you.